actually think that LGD is on a timer. If they cannot enforce this 20-minute timing and snowball the game, this is when the Wyvern, the TB, the Magnuses, they will scale greatly. So it's going to be down to can LGD execute their best strategy.
Yeah. Because LGD, like, you look at them throughout the tournament, they've always been hitting their timings. You look at Spirit, they've been breaking teams at what they do best. And now we have the game 5 where they're matching up here.
I want to see Yules, I want to see a way to stop this Cure. Collapse has proven you cannot play against his Magnus if you don't have ways to deal with this Cure. And LGD, they don't really have that. I feel like both teams got very powerful tools. It's going to be scary.
You think you're going to see the X mark? I can see it.
It's harder than the Rubik one. Like, I think it's much harder. But I think it might happen. Even if you have to go high ground, X the tiny, hit the tower.
But then you have to create a situation where the tiny is getting something done. You know, in the mid game and stuff, it's not the same. It's exciting. Both teams have great tools to take it home.
Last time Eposhka played Vyron, he owned the game.
Yeah. It's gonna be crazy. I mean, that's what we wish for. It's like, can both teams get a solid draft? Can they get their comfort? They did. We're in for a treat.
So who do you guys think the most important hero on LGD is for them to hit their timing? Like, whose early game matters the most?
Well, obviously the Kunkka, and I would also say the supports will have a huge part to play. The Lycan, the Tiny, they still have roles to play in the early game. Everybody does, and if you can help negate pressure, if you can get that random support kill if they're doing something illegal in your jungle, or kill the wave with your hero, then sure. As owner and the Sky was having a good game, they can make so much happen together.
And for the Team Spirit side, do you think there's anyone who can sort of stop that onslaught early?
Ember. Yeah. Ember. Everybody's looking at Ember for this match. Yeah,
it has to be the Ember.
And now we're going to the final game. But before we go into game, we'll see with Team Spirit's coach side.
Transcends expectation. Prepare for battle!
Thank you very much, Sumi. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the deciding Game 5 here at the TI10 Grand Finals. Team Spirit against PSG.LGD. I'm ODPixel, joined, of course, once again by the fabulous Insania. What have we got in front of us here? What have we got in store for us this game, Aiden?
Man, what a crazy game. I think the last game was very I completely agree with what Seb had to say, where I think both teams have different things going for themselves. I think if this game does scale up, if it goes very slowly, if the 20-minute timing from the Tiny isn't abused, then LGD's draft is going to just lack in power as the game scales up. I'm a little bit worried about how much the impact a Sky, Kunkka, Enchantress combo can have together around the map, and how well Team Spirit will be able to shut it down. I think runes, just like Silent said, luck, you know? And I don't think he was joking. Luck really does matter. If they get those power runes, it's going to be huge for them.
I mean, we saw as well from Spirit the sort of the very carefree attitude it worked out at the start of this series. We asked before the first game how the preparation was. Silent said, well, we didn't get to do much at all. We're just turning up to play and have a bit of fun. That fun certainly looked to be effective in Game 1 and Game 2, but Game 3 and Game 4, as we've just seen, PSG.LGD, they have stepped it up. They've hit back hard, and now is the time to see if they can continue on the road to the reverse sweep, or Team Spirit can find that magic that was getting them through the first two games of the series.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is going to be a battle of the mid laners come after laning phase. I think the laning phase is probably going to be really even. Both heroes will farm really well, but that 6-minute rune, though, and I think 6-minute rune actually has a massive edge in this game, because they're going to get to decide what happens, and the other team has to respond.
Absolutely. We've seen the importance of those timings, those power runes already many times in the series, many times in the tournament itself. Both teams will fully be aware of this, and we'll see a lot of focus around that first spawn. Looking at the side lanes here, getting into the action. Who's having the rough time here in the early game?
I actually think most lanes are just going to be fairly farmy. The top side of the map, I think, is probably where you're going to see the most kind of action. There's a little bit of threat from the Tiny Edge to potentially make some sort of kill move, but I really think it's right now, you know, you want to get as much farm as you can out of the lanes before the supports have to rotate out. So I expect all 6 cores of this game to have a fairly decent start.
Alright, well, we'll see if there's going to be any slip-ups in the laning stage.
Yeah.
Zero. Of course, Toronto Tokyo taking quite the hit from the Tidebringers. And nothing to say. Bottom lane, Xinkyu. He's a little low here, but into the trees he goes. A TP away just in time before Yutoro is able to hunt him down.
Yep, so the Metamorphosis has been popped, but they have lane control up top, and the advantage of having lane control is the TV can't really run you down with his range attack the way he wants to, so not the ideal position for this meta to be used. If you're able to use it right outside of your own tier 1 tower, you can kind of zone out any other hero to come into the lane, but Faithion's doing just fine during this meta.
Poshka trying his best to get Xinkyu away from his Terrorblade, keep that area safe for Yutoro.
Yeah, nothing to say is doing very well mid. I'm a little bit surprised at this. He's almost a full creep wave ahead.
I'll see the courage now. Oh, so Mirror continue to trade as best they can here with White.
Yeah, doing a good job making sure to stop hard camp. Oh,
I mean, Collapse has hit the level 3. He's got enough lockdown and damage to take this kill. Yes, he does. At the same time in the mid lane, Toronto Tokyo. Very low there. Has to get another range of a potential Tidebring. He will, but there we have it. First blood up top. Again, the quick read from Spirit there. As soon as they knew that they had the setup and the level 3 on Magnus.
Yeah, this mid lane is going excellently for nothing to say. Toronto Tokyo here has a hard. So do I go for the bounty rune or do I stay in the lane and try to farm? Ooh, nice Sleight of Fist. But overall, I think very stable lanes all around. TB Lycan about even. Mid lane is really the only outstanding lane so far to me.
Sure, we know how scary nothing to see can get when he has a start like this. The setups that he'll be able to offer to the team, they're going to be huge, and a fair bit of damage to follow up each and every time that nothing to say gets a catch.
Yeah, and LGD really on top of refilling the ball, right? You see Toronto's not quite getting the same support mid, and that's because their heroes are forced to stay in their lanes right now. They can't really move their pieces on the map. And already winning the lane, getting that free ball refill.
Oh, that is a blind side.
This is huge. Nothing to say is off to a great start in this game 5 of the grand final.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Very hard for Toronto Tokyo to do too much about it. Of course, Kung early on. So HP is not going to be too scared of being down by the Ember at the early levels.
Yeah. And up top you see, like, this is generally how the early game is developing in this grand final, where the Tiny gets the 1 versus 1 lane against the Mag, because there's no real kill threat. Neither side can really pressure each other too much, and the two supports are kind of battling it out in the jungle. Here we go, Collapse is really far up into the lane. This could be a lot of pressure.
See Mirror. Back at the side, zone case. Armate and White.
Yep.
Find the connection.
I feel like the one small edge PSG.LGD has had in this grand final is they're able to keep their safe lane really close to their tower constantly. They're not losing lane control on their safe lane, and it's allowing for them to have very good creep equilibrium, and that then in return makes Collapse forced to play much safer.
Oh, see Mirror. Not quite able to... Has left Collapse rather on his own. Nice little circle around the tree line. Up away from the two of them.
He's actually a player that to get these jukes where he kind of takes a route that people don't expect him to, and gets out of these tricky situations. Wonder if he can get out now though.
Where are you going?
Wow, on top of him. He has a slow.
It's a fair bit of damage. Does still have the skewer or a follow-up impetus or the combo. May close in on him.
Yep. Faithion getting in bottom. Flies used. Meta's used, but immediate TP out. Again, great presence of him. You can tell why these players are in the grand finals. They're not giving anything away for free. It's not like neither team is attempting to make moves. It's just both teams are really on top of it. As mid.
Set up here with a combo. Nice dodge. Flies inside Toronto Tokyo. In fact, over in the triangle, they are able to catch out. Oh, in fact, well, he did deny the bounty ring, but it will cost him his life coming over for that one there, as Team Spirit were prepared for that move.
And there, I think if you size that Ancient Seal a bit better, generally speaking, you're going to use an Accent Torrent. If you get the silence after the Torrent goes off, then the potential to get the boat in is there. And I think if they that way, it might have been the... But of course, fear of Ember potentially dodging the Torrent with a slide, force them to use it too early.
Yeah, no. Just not sure that mid. It's going to be hard for them to make that play again. Top lane. The Nightmare set up onto Arme. Collapse. It's got enough damage. Doesn't look like quite... That's the shockwave bolt. trying to chase down Arme, but a Shockwave and Skewer already expended. There's no further threat here against Tiny. Arme's going to be fine.
That's good pressure though. They force him off of the lane. They finally have managed to get control up top, and immediately when they get it, they have the opportunity to pressure the Tiny. So force him off the wave, force him to go into the jungle, and he doesn't have any right, so he's gonna have to spend gold on the region.
There you go, for him early on here with 3 of them surrounding the tower lane. Yatoro is trapped in the trees. The moves from the supports of PSG.LGD start to come in. See the counter block attempted. Set up with the Nightmare, but the TP's already coming over for nothing to say. He'll be ready to fight if Team Spirit push any further. They won't. They'll respect the potential of a backup coming in for out. They step away to not be caught out by the combo of the Kunkka.
Yeah, battle of power. It's about 30 seconds left. So both teams probably talking about which supports can we bring to the runes, who can be there to help. One haste, one D, it can change the flow of the game entirely.
Toronto Tokyo also just sort of come away, maybe get momentum of the mid lane. Such a state that they'll have that ability to check the room, but yeah, PSG.LGD just
80. It's a big room. This allows you to have the damage to potentially burst hero that you wouldn't be able to otherwise. And bottom lane, Faithbeyond's really trying to pressure this tower. And now that he's forced out the Arctic burn from Imposhka, Imposhka has to be very safe. He can't really sit there anymore and just continuously nuke the creeps. So expect this bottom tower to start falling. On top, An is doing a great job of just defending.
He is. He's clearing out the wall. He's holding off the pressure. Something that Team Spirit can't quite do themselves here down bottom. Faithbeyond.
So here, it's an important smoke here that LGD are doing. They recognize Am is going to sit on their own bottom tower. So what are they going to do? They're going to mirror your play. They're going to go and attempt to take top lane tier 1 tower. So the smoke here, it's a preemptive move in case Team Spirit tries to do something. But Spirit reads it perfectly. They are aware.
And making sure not to get caught out by these early moves as PSG.LGD do start to slowly ramp up an early goal advantage. Now, the 1K lead, they'll be able to catch themselves. In the
Blood in the way.
Yeah, and Yatoro actually gives us position away. He used the reflection there, so now they know the Terrorblade's in the triangle. And you can look bottom, Faithbeyond has absolutely no fear. There's no hero that can gank him in any shape, way, or form. So he's off to a really, really good start. And when we talked about the straps coming into it, it's all about timings, right? So you want, ideally, for him to finish up the time of the Overlord and the Aghanim Scepter before 20 minutes. And if the game continues the way it is right now, it's highly likely to happen.
Double damage.
Spirit, I do want to try and put the pressure up top. Try and push Arme out of this top area of the map. It's in the mid lane. Over the catch, but Toronto Tokyo fully prepared.
Yep, Spirit are aware that the boat was used. Means the top tower is very unlikely to be defended.
It's hard for them to get on top of Arme. Again, playing smart with putting a stop to the combo, and now time's been bought for PSG to come around. Yatoro immediately out with the TP, doesn't want to be around there anymore. Mira will get found in the trees though. The death here on the Bane as PSG.LGD continue to fight back against Spirit's attempts to get something done whilst the pushes are coming in elsewhere from PSG.LGD there. Definitely getting a little bit more done in this first 10 minutes.
Yep, they absolutely are. And Purge here of the Lycan, this allows you to take away the level 4 Vanguard from the Ember, which is his major fighting tool right now in the early game. So
tower is under attack.
This time in 10 minutes, a second tier 1 tower. Playing it fast, PSG.LGD.
Yeah, LGD have the entire map to play with right now. They're controlling the entire. It's basically wherever they want to go, whoever they want to kill, is an option for them. And Team Spirit, they just have to try to play this map split game where they're taking the PSG.LGD heroes around and trying to get Yatoro to farm safely behind everybody else.
We're gonna see what this basic collapse has got. He's gonna have a timing here on Blink Dagger. I mean, how proactive do you expect to see them be here with this Blink pick? Was it an immediate smoke and an attempt for a kill?
Very likely they're going to try to make some counter move where they try to set a play where they expect LGD to do something and they know where their heroes could be, and then they're set up ready to take that fight. I don't really expect them to some aggressive smoke. Most likely around some enemy tower or to defend on their own.
See, just constant micro here.
Oh my god, Faith is being so annoying. Toronto Tokyo's trying to farm jungle with his Vanguard, but he's just purging it off every single time.
And he's taking all the camps himself, down here with the walls.
Yeah, and it's a tough position to be in if you're Team Spirit. You really drafted this like very late game heavy draft. You know it'll take a long time for you to come online. I think if you see a team like OG play December Spirit, he probably would have gone for more of a slight chain build and try to make moves, try to tempo, break up the pace of the game. Toronto Tokyo opted to go the more farm heavy route. So their draft is going to come along much later than PSG.LGD's, and that's why they're allowed to dominate the early game the way they have been.
Nothing to say. He wants to set up in the mid. Arcane Rune in the bottom. Full armlet. With the phase. Very tanky Kunkka this early on, and a lot of damage to dish out.
And if we take a look at the vision game, which we've been talking about so much during this series, because it's just so important, you notice you have the scouting wolves from Beyond, so there's extra 2 wards basically running around the map and providing vision for.
It's under attack. Dire structures
right outside of their own towers, protecting their triangle and protecting their tier 2 tower. So it's not really giving them any information about what's going on in the game. They don't really see any heroes on these wards. Whilst LGD feel very comfortable moving around the map. So Vision Secure definitely in favor of LGD. They understand what's going on in the game much better than Team Spirit does. Team Spirit exclusively off of game sense.
You can see the confidence from PSG.LGD because of vision control. Focus, they swing through the triangle here of Team Spirit. See if Spirit gets caught out. It's alright.
We're sailing now.
Or so good at sniffing it out, I feel like.
Yeah, and he's made the call for Collapse to back off as well. They're both out of here.
And this is purely a game sense read. This is him looking at the minimap, understanding what LGD is doing, and responding to it perfectly. There was no information of that play coming. Wonderfully done. There's a little bit of a play attempt set up at the bottom lane. But they just don't have the damage.
It's hard with the 2 of them. Not a job for the supports alone.
He's making his way over.
I mean, maybe the Terrorblade and the Metamorphosis, they could get the damage done if they get a grip onto armor. He's tanking though, 2.4. 400 HP. He's got the saber, the tread. See if they can do it. The man dead up. Instantly TPs are connected. See if they can do the damage quick enough. So focusing down with Metamorphosis and the illusions, they'll be able to take it. The kill off Arme. Mystic flares and Ember is able to sidestep it. PSG.LGD can't get a grab return. Nothing to say. Trying to charge it. Head into the trees, trying to distract them from the rest of it. Here comes the Micro. Why?
Nice.
He's able to lock down Maposhka here with a set from the center. Drag back into the combo. He'll try his best to break the combo. Nothing to say here with the curse thrown out Maposhka. But he will still end up going down. Still though, Spirit, they'll take that. Got in there, able to take Arme off the map. Ichiro is able to continue to farm here with the benefit of Collapse and the Empower.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But they did use both the Lightning Storm and if you think about how LGD wants to play this game, it's important for them to have their cooldowns to get big kills, get big moments. While Team Spirit, every time nothing's happening in the game, they feel like they're progressing their game. And that's exactly what's going on now, right? They know, like before, there's no boat, there's no team that's going to happen in the next 2 minutes. And they're very happy about that.
Yeah, we're seeing as well Toronto able to silently play his game here. He's been getting a lot of space. Already with this time with the first time pick up the Yule. He's already rather hard for PSG.LGD. So his game, his farm's certainly going to be picking up pretty soon here. PSG.LGD are able to find more action to keep this lead going. Arme in the neighborhood, ready to brawl in the jungle of Spirit get to them. But so far in this game 5, Spirit, they've returned to sort of that fantastic ability to read the moves and just avoid any sort of engagement that is not preferable for them to be involved in.
Yeah, and if you're playing some sort of like Enchanted Skywrath type draft, you want to be getting kills right now. You want to be punishing them. And the graphs, it's been about a 2 to 3k lead for most of the game. They're not really progressing on LGD's side. Yes, they're ahead, but they're not getting more ahead. And the style of draft, you want to be getting more ahead as the game progresses. So it's looking like that 20-minute timing really is going to be everything for them.
Absolutely, especially now with the Shadow Blade on Arme. I mean, he is ready to be an incredible killer at this stage, of course. The power of the time, ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I think for Team Spirit are going to be really big forward for this upcoming team fight, because if Bane is able to get a grip on the Tiny for long for TB to position and output damage, that might just be enough for them to win the game. If this Tiny goes down, PSG.LGD has nothing. It's all about Arme.
This time, Empower Maposhka. Collapse by their side. Arme. He's just got himself Shinkyu behind him. Setting up with the Shadow Blade in preparation to clear out the wave. We'll see if Spirit hang around to try and hunt down.
The Poshka with the read, he does have a sentry. Looks like he might have ran up with that wave if Ahmed had just been slightly more patient. So if we take it items, you see the Winter Wire building the blink. He understands one good curse, you know? It's all about getting the one good spell off. So having the positioning, staying back, and then blinking at the right moment, that's going to be what he's going for. They're giving him space. They're letting my Poshka sit down to try to finish the blink. They understand how important this is.
Absolutely. It's going to be huge, these curves. Still not know where you're running these 3 melee cores that want to be charging in at you. Absolute possibilities for a huge turnaround coming in his team fights.
Yep, definitely is. And if you look at Toro, he's building up Scotty. He wants to be tanky enough to tank the damage and then potentially get a Sunder off. That's going to be the game for him. If he's able to stand his ground with Scotty and the Tiny initiates on anything but him, he might just be able to be tanky enough to stay alive. One person who's really not getting any farm in this game right now is Collapse. He's kind of understood that, you know what, I'm just going to get my shard and I'm going to be happy with that. If I can have it by 20 minutes, that's everything I need.
Yeah. Resources. Sans Magnus certainly something that got tripped up in the game, of course, where Jinkyu had the Rubik to deal with it. Something that isn't, of course, here this time round. So a bit more free of a game for Collapse to make his moves occur.
I feel like both teams are just waiting for this 20 minutes. I mean, if the pacing keeps going, I mean, LGD's gonna hit the time again, and you really gotta look at that team fight. The nice thing about having so much time right now is, I expect Team Spirit to be really ready for that fight when it comes. But look at this, LGD are trying to make a move right before it.
Yeah, here they go, Ancient Thunderhide leading the charge. Of course, we'll be spotted out here by Spirit. I know that there's likely gonna be some action following it.
Great read from Spirit again. And look up top. Yatora just farming. 5 heroes committed down here for LGD, but Yatora has the space that he wants.
The ground. To charge. Jinkyu, nothing to say they're going to drop. Collapse is going to. Who with the RP? Jinx stop the Jinkyu. Grab the scout with the turn. Done. Praise for Contestant. And Club nothing to say underneath the turn. Yatora pinches out from that side. The fifth comes out. They're looking at down. Another thing. For the remedies that come on. Trying to take it. Check. Shockwave claims the lightning jump. The hide and face up. Of course, that will also get claimed by Yatora. More money for the defense. An aggressive dive underneath to tower. But as we turn around, it's absolutely there. Yatora is able to get involved. And PSG.LGD, they get punished.
Yep, beautifully done by Team Spirit. But keep in mind, RP was expended, Metamorphosis was expended. 20-minute timing coming up, Roach was available too. So, huge rune. Arcane, this could be a game-winning rune for him.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think once we see that Lycan form come up, expect them to make some kind of move. Actually, Tang's missing 1,000 gold for his shard, so probably not going to be up to its timing. So, great fight for Spirit all around, but proving that they can kill the tank is huge for them.
Poshka's maybe even already leading into more action. He's got the Winter's Curse at the ready. Toronto, Tokyo, and Collapse up here ready to play around him as well.
That's Fate Count's about 1,000 gold away from the Ags.
Collapse, about all the chances. Catching and drag back on the Jinkyu, keeping reach of the rest of the team. They've got to watch out for these pickoffs. Something that Collapse was tearing them apart with earlier in the series.
Yeah, and Collapse has recognized that, you know, the idea from LG is to silence them when Blinks the one toss. So he can't get the screw back. Very similar to how the Rubik lost game, but this time around they're just going to try to use silence from Skywrath. So what does he do? He goes for the Sky. Great game understanding from Collapse.
Straight fit now as well. Even just the one member down with no Sky, no Jinkyu. It's still enough that PSG.LGD feel that they cannot take this fight there. Letting this go. Spirit.
I feel like the pacing of the game right now is really does favor Team Spirit, and they expect LGD to make some kind of move to try to break it up, but they can't let them farm out this 5 minutes. Expect something to happen before that. Kind of moment I feel like. You see Tokyo is just slowly farming up his items. I mean, this Ember Spirit's been a beast this event, and he's only 1,000 gold off of his own Aghanim. And then after that comes a shard, and then there's just fire ends everywhere.
And he hasn't been caught yet this game. 1-0-3. Struggled to contain Tokyo in this early stage. He's also going to have that DD rune ready for the next fight. Late. He's gonna have some of these heroes on the back line. They're not gonna stand much of a chance at all. Jinkyu and why they better be pretty. Toronto Tokyo making the jump in on them.
Yeah, the positioning of the supports, it's really, I think, the story of this game, because both front lines are so tanky. I don't really think they're going to go down without the assistance of the supports from both sides. So Miposhka and Mir going into Zai and Xingqiu. They both have very, very tough positions to be in. You're going to have Ember remnanting into your backline, chasing the Skywrath, chasing the and at the same time, if Tiny gets a float, you're just dead. If he gets eyes on you, you're cool.
And here's that time, so they've got the act ready. On Faith, yeah, ready to make the move here, as you say. They don't want to be held back by the idea that Yatoro's got an Aegis. They want to fight regardless into it.
Yep, I understand. If we wait too long, then Yatoro's going to be too strong. Oh, they see.
Set up for success here. Look at it. Watch your door. And Poshka in front of Tokyo and Collapse setting up across the coastline as wide with a boat upon. She's want to tackle this.
There's a DD.
Looking for Roger's Collapse. He's in, instantly caught out by the ancient signal, so no skew and a fault. Why?
Shade in searing heat.
Anything they can do to save their Enchantress? I mean, does Wyatt need saving at all? He's gonna need to. And the Nightmare holds him back.
Yeah, we'll farm both used on Lunkin as well as that. Now, King Spirit are in control of these. They get to decide what happens in this game.
Aegis Metamorphosis ready for use here. Tier 2s could be on the table for Team Spirit.
Looking for some kind of... They know LGD can't fight back if they get a couple of heroes right now.
They've got their eyes on mid. Torres trying to rack up the gold again out to the sky. 2,800. It's got Butterfly queued up, no, so they're not going to be wanting to pick up any sort of true strike. Times appears LGD, the evasion would be huge.
I wonder if it's enough though. I like the idea of the Satanic more. Yeah, he's going for the Satanic. I really like this, because if he can survive the Tiny combo, if he can get through it, you can purge off the silence from the Skywrath, you can get one hit off and then...
Yeah, that was beautiful.
I mean, if you're a Team Spirit fan, you're very happy with the pacing of this game. You saw LGD being unable to use the first timing of the game to really do anything, so if this keeps happening like 2, 3 more times, then you're in the late game, and Team Spirit geared up to take that late game.
The rune of invisibility.
With a set up top. Like Toronto, Tokyo in this room. Ready?
Dyer's
Good go. See if you can get it. Surprise jump to PSG.LGD. Why? Close right now. It's just the two supports playing up really. Putting themselves in the most dangerous position whilst the cores are able to farm on the safer side of that.
I think teams are going to look for something for the spot on triangle ward. This is a ward that usually fight around when they have it. Let's see what they do. It looks like they're moving over. Gem on Miposhka. They understand the importance of the vision in this game. And there's no tombstone this time, right? No, as they did in the previous 2 games. Now, they're relying on the wolves. So having the gem secures that there's no wolves on top of you. They don't see where you're moving. They don't know what's going on. So, great item pickup by Miposhka. Understanding the importance of it. It's a tense game.
I mean, you know, the Team Spirit's got the solid jump, but PS hard.
Back to 4.
With the body, we'll see Collapse come in. He's in with the Hawk Toss, he's going to look to separate. Nothing to do for the Raptors. He's going to they get a quick grab, nothing to sit out for a minute.
10 seconds on the Aegis, and once again the wolf forms are used, but Ahmed is something to retreat. They see the opening they want, don't buy back on the Kunkka.
Yeah, hard to fight with one of them most fast cores right now in the game. They need it all up, really, to tackle Team Spirit head on. Bit of timing left on the Metamorphosis. Team Spirit got a shot, 6 minutes. Starting to take down Tier 2.
Quick fingers. Jumped away from the stun of the Tiny.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Communication soon to be coming to an end. You see Spirit having to go for the dives behind the tower, trying to go in. And he's found himself GQ.
Mission there. You know, Tiny initiates on you top. What does that mean? That zero heroes meant to fight. Immediately dives in. Wherever the Tiny is not, Team Spirit have massive freedom to make moves. The Tiny, it's really all about this Tiny. And two last forms have not gone PSG.LGD's way. I think the game is slowly swinging in the Team Spirit's favor. And they're getting past that impossible timing of fighting this time.
He's gone.
Yeah, if you're PSG.LGD right now, you really gotta try to find a way to catch Team Spirit off guard. But they have the gem. They're setting up their vision smartly. They're playing around where they can see the dire heroes. If you look at the minimap, look where they're positioned. Bottom side of the map, 2 hill wards here to cover any sort of defense that LGD try to make. So they're always a... Team Spirit recognize that as long as we just delay the game, we don't feed, we don't give away anything for free, we're in a good position. Yasuo will carry us.
Never refuse gold given.
It's alright. Position now to push down a threat in another tier 2 tower. Set up looking for Tokyo, but again, tensions things up and they don't get catch.
Turn up being on the bottom tier tower, doesn't get any sort of response. I mean, now they expect most of the LGD heroes to be on the top side of the map.
Dire's bottom tower is fallen.
Over 10 seconds, can they start to poke the high ground, or how aggressive do you want to push?
It's a scary decision to make. I don't envy carry players that have to make this decision at this position in the game.
They're going to make the call to commit. And the morph this is a theatre.
Is under attack.
How hard does he want to push it in face of PSG.LGD? Doesn't look like they want to.
I think the idea here is to try to force the LGD heroes back into the base so that they then can play around their wards and potentially move over to the top side, remove any sort of vision that LGD, and then get map control that way. And you know, with these illusions, push your forcers.
Oh! He looks to move back. Grab back on the side. So he's a big image of having for the leg on the pitch. Gets cancelled by the avalanche. Winter's going to go to the quick end. And PSG.LGD now trying. Nice. Luke was crashed up to her. Ancient seal for now. Sure, going to pick up a reason inside the pitch. Right, Tokyo. Looking around and over the side, he's got his eyes up on one side. Oh, even more, actually, he's holding on to that, not getting back quite yet. Killed off 2. And with 2 they may just have the room here to push up and grab your turret. He's stepping up. Still a bit longer with the metamorphosis. Left to taking the tier 3 tower. There's going to have to be buybacks. GQ back into the game. But the tier 3 taken and some damage being done to the Rex as well. No hook up for 40 seconds.
Yeah, and no wolf fight.
He's gone for 70. Another man down on PSG.LGD. Spirit wing. He just can't stop finding them collapse. Every single time, pick up on the pick up. He can't stand anywhere near Spirit.
No, you absolutely can't. And Yatora's recognizing, you know, I don't have meta. I don't have my but neither do they. And he's pushing it. I think they're going to keep going for this build. They do not seem great. There's so much confidence right now in how they're playing. Get the buyback. He's next mark, but 3,000 HP.
So accurate. The satanic act already ever feels threatened.
But look at this LGD are coming in from top. They recognize the front line. They need to catch the back line here.
They're going to try and go for the easy kill first, or at least they put the easier, maybe, but no, it's not. TP out of their fire, able to stop it. Arme's in the combo. They catch the Bane, they need more than nothing to send him. Doesn't look like they're going to get it. Because up into the street, they won't be able to find him to stop that escape. See? Or take a tier 3 in the mid lane. They are losing the Bane. Push now to an 8k lead against PSG.LGD.
Yeah, and once again, both the wolf forms are expended. So you know what that means? Roton's available. Metamorphosis is ready in 10 seconds. Team Spirit are going to eye it up.
Get even harder to deal with Yatura now. He's got the full silver edge done, so the ability to sort of duck in and out of fights. He is going to be a rough nightmare to deal with. We see Arme's farm too far behind, but you definitely feel that at the moment the timings that they've hit as a unit are so much harder to deal with than it is for them to take down PSG.LGD.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's reflected in the way that Alm is playing, but he's about to get caught here.
This collapse, and dropping the LP. The BKB was out in time. He's in this, but it's not fair from this to Yatara. He's fucking. They're ready to chase for a moment, perhaps. Giving in a close condition. They caught the score. Set up there as well for the coach. Want to beat PM as well. They're going for a third. Latest score from Killer. Back into the balls of Spirit.
Team Spirit has lasted through the hardest part of the game. Now, everything is theirs. They just need to play this calmly. Don't overextend. Recognize that as long as we play our own timings, this game firmly in our grip.
I mean, there's 3 dead. There's no buyback. It's only nothing to say. And why left here for the defense? These Spirit.
Middle barracks have fallen. Dyer's fortress was breaking.
But there's still those long seconds before they get their 2 calls back in the game. PSG.LGD.
We're gonna have to try to do something. I don't think they have
Dyer's middle
wait for
tower
Tiny
is
to respond.
See how carefully Team Spirit
Goes back.
there's 20 seconds of armor. They can push. They can push this Spirit. They don't need a 20 seconds without armor. G2 goes down. Nothing is Kickboy doesn't say how the final. Is it till armor again? Look at the clock now.
They're hitting the
Taste the
option.
champion. They can stop the system. The back door protect.
He tells me that ain't gonna be getting any more wasted.
PSG.LGD now to force get him set flat with the blade. Just need to reset Spirit.
Oh, big chance. Oh,
You've got the curse. Right. He's already got it. Promise I'll keep the law, man. James, from the back. Jimmy coming on. Straight back into the road. Get this thing caught out with the turret. Well, the silence is what I'll jump on. Collapse. BKB. It's looking down with the old people. Protection. They need to see it. They don't get to see it. Oh man, he's gonna live. He's gonna fall to a bear. And the switching. They get him. They finish. Oh, that's the good damage.
what a TP!
What TP? He's alive.
So, no back on Toronto Tokyo. No buyback on
Oh boy.
No buyback on Almond.
Oh my goodness.
They're push on.
There is.
Oh, I thought we were gonna get over.
It was so close. The backdoor protection kicks in. PSG.LGD are able to pull together a defense. They lose their tier 4, but the Ancient still stands.
Yep. And if you under as well, you can feel the nerves. I can feel it. It's just so much on the line. Just one sentry could have won the game there, but support's unfortunately not able to get to range.
Let's see what they can do around. They're still down 6. PSG.LGD, but they've got all their bolts up. So make any sort of steal. Their body man is just. They're gonna go. They're gonna boot back on the top. Nothing to say. The Taurus right over his next target. Looking over towards Arlen. Collapse. Popping the BKB. And the Posh keeping himself alive with the cold of the next Spirit. He's got more time behind. He's shot up another support. Tokyo. Trying to take it. Somebody else has got enough remnant. Slightly this into the remnant of the high ground. He's away. Now sneaking around over these silver bridges. Not another.
Metamorphosis is up, but so is the 2 wolf forms. It's both teams taking it safe right now. But look at why it's
Why?
Look at how carefully they're playing it. They're scared to walk up there and try to kill him.
They got him.
There we go.
Take him off the cliff. Look at this. Oh, no, he can't do it, surely. He can't time. He's out on him. Still nothing.
I'm in low.
He's got in on low. That was a risky move. He's got the back of a chin cue. But He's on. 2 minutes. No, Tiny. Ancient exposed. Spirit. The walk over towards the Ancient.
They're not creeps.
They're ready to close it this time. Only 2 left. Can they stop it? I don't think they can. Jinky's got it over. GG! It's on Griff's done it! They have done it! Team Spirit! They come into the grand finals 2 games straight up. They take it over PSG.LGD in game 3, game 4. PSG. Game 4. PSG.LGD, they hit back. But the game 5, even though they get knocked out in 3 and 4, Spirit, they come back with the same skill and ability that's taken them this whole road to the grand finals. And what a road it has been. They take down Fnatic, OG, VP, IG, Secret, and now in a best of 5 at the grand finals, the International 10, they defeat PSG.LGD, arguably the favourites coming into the tournament.
Absolutely, and they don't just defeat any PSG.LGD. They beat PSG.LGD playing their best draft. This was all the heroes that PSG.LGD wanted. Like Seb touched on, Lycan, Tiny, they invented this. This was the most dominant combo of this tournament, and they beat it. They figured out how to beat it, and they beat the best team at playing it.
I mean, it's insane as well. 4 of them, their first